Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian, and this is where Maga comes to talk. All right? We got a lot to cover on the stream, so buckle up. I also, anytime I live stream 7 days a week. I always take live calls, all right, on the live stream, and I have a toll-free number you can call in, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631, all right, if you're watching live. Okay, so Ron DeSantis, this guy just cannot admit that it's over. Everything has been falling apart for Ron DeSantis. I used to like him, just like President Trump. I voted for him in both of his elections. And just to give you a recap with what happened with DeSantis, why has Maga turned against DeSantis? And I know he turned against Trump. Well, that's true, but it's more specific than that. What happened when this Soros-backed prosecutor, Bragg, in New York, brought back with his fake Soros grand jury an indictment against President Trump, a story came out that said that when there's an out-of-state indictment and extradition is a question, because Trump at the time was at Mar-a-Lago. He's in New Jersey right now, but he winters here in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. And people said, no, the governor can call for an investigation to investigate the legitimacy and whether or not the indictment is a valid indictment. And that was like, wow, that's interesting, because we could open up this case and find out what BS Bragg is trying to pull here. And Ron DeSantis didn't do anything. In fact, Ron DeSantis came out and said he's staying out of it. So Bragg from New York City comes in with this indictment, and Ron DeSantis says, come on to Florida, Bragg, and arrest him. It's disgusting. Marjorie Taylor Greene was with President Trump when he went to New York City, not DeSantis. He was off campaigning for president. And that was it. And then that's when he came out of the closet as fake MAGA. So it's very specific what he did, and he's been getting worse all of the time. But he's been losing. Since he launched his campaign, Ron DeSantis, he hasn't had a good moment. And if you remember, he launched DeSantis' campaign with Elon Musk's Twitter Spaces announcement, and that was a disaster because there were all these technical glitches with Twitter Spaces. Remember, it was just so Ron DeSantis, his campaign has been a disaster since it started. And he did us a favor, because if he would have stayed in the closet as fake MAGA, he would have been our nominee in 2028 and been the second MAGA president after Donald Trump. And then we would have found out he's fake MAGA after he won the election. So he did us a favor in a way, but this guy, he just won't give up. So one of his PACs, he's got big disasters going on with his super PACs. This is an amazing story of defeat for Ron DeSantis. By the way, welcome everyone that's jumping in the stream. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and everyone like the video so that you can help the channel grow, which I know you guys want to do, right? MAGA for life, MAGA unite, everything, right? We want as many MAGA people as we can. And you know what? If you're not MAGA, you're welcome too. We'll wake you up, okay? We'll wake you up, we'll red pill you, and you'll see that Trump is the way. All right, so let's just go through this story. This story is just absolutely amazing. I love this story, and it shows you what a disaster DeSantis' campaign is. A super PAC set up to back Ron DeSantis with $50 million is closing as donors backed out, while its founder said the Florida governor's campaign was guilty of rookie shit mistakes and will now look back at Donald Trump. So this is great. So not only is DeSantis' super PAC dropping him, his super PAC is coming over to the Trump train. This is awesome. John Thomas, a Republican strategist known as Billy the Kid of political battles, set up Ron to the rescue. That's the name of the PAC. Ron to the rescue. Who's he rescuing? In November, and it secured financial commitments from mega wealthy donors. But he said the donors began having second thoughts after the botched DeSantis campaign launch on Twitter Spaces in May. That was in May already? This guy's been destroying his reputation since May, Ron DeSantis, and he's still in it. You know, part of the reason that is because Ron DeSantis, for the first time in his life, is facing rejection, right? He's won every election he's been in, and he was one of those overachievers in school and college. He was in the Little League World Series and all that stuff, the Yale baseball team captain and all that stuff. So he's always been the big man on campus. And, you know, it's kind of like, the way I describe it sometimes, it's like on American Idol, when you're in the audition phase of American Idol. Everyone that's auditioning on American Idol is the best singer at their local church, right? They do all the solos at church. They're the best at their school. They're the star in all the school plays and everything else. And then they go to the auditions. They make it out to L.A., on American Idol, and everyone's the best singer at their church and in the high school, and they find out that they're not really great, that they're mediocre maybe, and maybe they just suck. Well, that's what's happening to DeSantis. He's in the big leagues, and he's really a Little League World Series guy. Okay, so the PAC head, he said, donors began having second thoughts after the botched DeSantis campaign launch on Twitter Spaces in May. It appeared to be the latest blow for DeSantis after a tree fell on the governor's mansion in Tallahassee during the hurricane Wednesday. His wife Casey and the 3 children were home at the time, but no one was injured. Well, that's common. Trees fall during the hurricanes. I've had trees fall during the hurricanes too. But I think it was a message. Get out, Ron. You're done. But the DeSantis team has said for almost a year that Thomas's PAC was using his name without his permission. So now all of a sudden DeSantis is saying that PAC had nothing to do with us now that they're backing Trump. Well, you know, this is the... Yet really? Was he saying that he didn't approve of it when they were going to give him $50 million? It's now that the money's not coming from him, now all of a sudden they're bad guys. Oh, man. Yes, I do know Jimmy Buffett passed away. And, you know, Jimmy Buffett, you know, he, I guess he made the Florida Keys famous, you know, and, well, I don't know, what is that, what are they saying in the news today? That Jimmy Buffett, he made famous the beach bum lifestyle. But if you see Jimmy Buffett at a lot of these pictures of the news, he didn't look like so much of a beach bum. And a lot of these pictures that I've seen in the news today with the passing of Jimmy Buffett, I would not even recognize that as Jimmy Buffett if I didn't know what I was watching, because he's like in suits and tuxedos, no hat, he's wearing shoes. You know, I like Jimmy Buffett too. Jimmy Buffett's awesome. But any of you, these pictures we're seeing of him, a lot of them in the news today, just don't look like the Jimmy Buffett I know, right? I wonder if they're going to, when they inter him forever, will he be wearing shoes? What do you think? Or you think he'll be barefoot, Jimmy Buffett? I don't know. Good question. Yeah, Cheeseburger in Paradise. I like that song too. I don't want to talk too much about the Jimmy Buffett songs because just like some other songs, I'm going to get the songs in my head. And I don't want any songs in my head of anybody while I'm streaming it. You know how that goes? Yeah, but you can let me know in the chat or in the comments, what's your favorite Jimmy Buffett song? Cheeseburger in Paradise, is that his most famous? I don't know. Yes, he did. Jimmy Buffett passed away. That's right. You know what I didn't see, though, in the stories this morning, maybe it's been updated, though, in the last few minutes. Where was he when he passed away? Does anyone know? I don't. No, it didn't say in any of the stories I read this morning, but maybe it's out by now. Somebody can tell me in the chat. So the first super PAC of Governor DeSantis has dropped him and now is back Trump, and that's huge. And you know, when you are the number 2, even though by like 50 points behind Trump, but when you're the number 2 candidate in the Republican race, and one of your super PACs dumps you, okay, and then they endorse Trump, shouldn't that be like, you know, top and bottom of the hour news? If it happened to Trump, it would be, but because it's DeSantis, there's anything that helps Trump, they don't want to tell you about. So that's not really making the news too much, that story, if at all. And then, so he's got another PAC, the Never Back Down PAC. There's some trouble with them too. In fact, if you think about it, going back to May with the DeSantis Super PAC launch, has Ron DeSantis had one day that you could say this has been a good day for his campaign? Like when he was in Iowa and he was getting booed everywhere he went in Iowa by, Margaritaville. That's a big one. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, that's probably the biggest one of Jimmy Buffett. All right, so his other super PAC, they're in trouble too. This is the Never Back Down PAC, okay? A Ron DeSantis aligned super PAC pleaded with wealthy donors to help raise $50 million before the end of the year. You know, I love how, you know, they're doing this high pressure thing. We need the 50 by the end. You know, the people that raise money for these candidates, okay, you know, they get a commission on the money they raise. They're like commission salesmen, I guess, commission fundraisers, you know. So, you know, a Ron DeSantis aligned super PAC pleaded with wealthy donors to help raise $50 million before the end of the year, just hours before the Florida governor's first GOP debate. The Political Action Committee never backed down. This is the Lincoln Project types. Spoke to dozens of wealthy Republican backers about how they are going to lean on warm and humble Casey to make Ron more likable in the unfolding campaign. You know, so this is the thing. A lot of what has come out is when people meet DeSantis, they don't like him, right? So they're bringing the wife out. And every time she comes out and talks about surviving cancer, which, you know, we're happy for her and all that. But we're going to drum Trump because this guy that we don't like, his wife, survived. Lots of people have beaten cancer, right? So what? Jamie Raskin beat cancer. How can you forget it? He wears even though he's not on chemo anymore, he wears the thing on his head, the pirate hat on his head all the time. You know, who cares? And, you know, so that tells you the campaign's doomed when, well, we don't like you, Ron, but let's get the wife out. People post-show people like her. And I don't know how true that is. I really don't. Let's see here. Political never broke down. Okay. Leaked audio from the meeting, published by CNN, unveiled how the strategists view Trump's growing campaign and how DeSantis should present himself again to gain more voters on his side. See, this is present himself again. This means reinvent himself and come out with some type of personality that might be likable. And, you know, one of the things about President Trump, which is insane, you can go online and look all these interviews up of President Trump back in the 80s with Phil Donahue, Oprah, Sally Jesse Raphael, and remember her with the glasses? She had red glasses. Not like these are red glasses, but hers were the big one. But whatever happened? Is she alive or dead, Sally Jesse Raphael? Anyone know? I don't know. But if you go back to those old interviews from the 80s of Donald Trump, he says the same thing then that he's saying now, which is absolutely amazing. But what they're doing with DeSantis is they're trying to come up with a new personality. Oh my goodness, that's awful. The CEO of Never Back Down told donors August 23rd, "We just need your help getting $50 million more by the end of the year and $100 million more by the end of March." Oh my God, what do they got? A money machine? These are some rich people. "I'm not worried about the second 50. We need the first 50. Oh my goodness. Pathetic. Okay, and there they are, walking. That's right. He made his plea at a fundraising lunch just hours before Florida governor stepped on stage for the first GOP presidential debate. There were 60 wealthy donors in the audience, including the Trump campaign's former finance chief, Roy Bailey. Never Back Down has been operating as a type of shadow campaign for DeSantis after receiving an initial $82.5 million from his own state political committee. Yeah, here in Florida, which really sucks. Our Florida Republicans, we got a lot of never-Trumpers in them, unfortunately. But, you know, President Trump, there's a story today that says President Trump is considering future Republican debates. Well, that's complete BS. Do you know why he said that? Why do you guys think he said that? I'm going to tell you after I have a sip of my coffee here. Someone in the chat told me Sally Jesse Raphael is alive and 88 years old. Oh, my goodness. Okay, that's good. I used to watch her show. So, so the story says, there's a story out there that says that Trump is considering future debates. That's complete BS. And the reason Trump is saying that he's considering future debates is so these grifters and losers and wannabes that are running in the Republican primary can keep blowing money from these wealthy never-Trumper donors. That's all. He's not going to. Why should he do any of these debates? Let's see here. Okay. Let me go back just a sentence. Never Back Down has been operating as a type of shadow campaign for DeSantis after receiving an initial $82.5 million from his own state political committee. Not only does the organization run and monitor DeSantis's usual campaign duties, but Never Back Down also plans his travel events and makes connections with potential backers. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Brian. It's Roz. How you doing?
Hey, Roz. By the way, you're all welcome to call in. The number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. What's up, Roz?
I wanted to know, is Kathy okay? Because I looked for you yesterday and you didn't go to the place to do the
Yes,
station.
my wife is my wife is in the other room. She's in our bedroom, and she's recovering. She had surgery yesterday, and she's recovering. She's doing well, but she can't move around a lot because she had surgery and she has a lot of stitches, and she doesn't want them to come loose.
Gosh.
Yes, I know. The first thing we did when she woke up this morning was check and make sure she's not bleeding from where she had the surgery, but she's doing well. Thanks for asking.
Every time you're not on the air, I get worried about her. I really like your wife because I listen to all your podcasts.
Well, I like her too.
You better after 27 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But
yeah, no,
I'm
she had. Yeah,
calling
if I'm not on the air, usually it's a big deal. Either I am so sick I can't move, or my wife's having some type of procedure at the hospital. I don't take many days off.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind,
Yeah,
Ross?
I know. Well, two things. I heard that President Trump, and I don't know if this is true or not, that he said he would do debates after the second debate. Is that true or not?
Possibly. He would consider it. Mm-hmm. He didn't say, I am going to do it. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. Well,
now
let's see.
What's going on with Ron DeSantis? Is he going to get out of here? Because he's an idiot.
Well, he's trying to use the hurricane, Ron DeSantis, as a comeback tour. And he thinks he looks like a tough guy because he said he won't meet with Biden, who's coming to Florida to view the hurricane damage.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to he doesn't want to go out like Chris Christie with Obama with the hug on the beach, like out of 10 with Dudley Moore and Bo Derek, he doesn't want he doesn't want to do that. So it doesn't. No, we don't trust him anymore. He's done.
Oh no, I would never vote for him. I thought he was a good guy. And when he pulled this crap on Trump, that when they wanted to extradite Trump from Florida, and he said, I'm not getting involved, right there, that told me you're a snake.
That's right. Well, he's a good governor. I mean, I'll give him that. He's my governor. I live in Florida, and he is a very, very good governor. My
aunt lives in Florida, too.
Yeah, and he does really great after these hurricanes. He's good with organizing the relief efforts and all of that. But he screwed us with Trump, and he's fake MAGA, and he's unelectable forever. Stay being governor, finish out your second term, and then start looking for a real job. Because that's it, DeSantis.
Yeah.
I mean, you're done. Yeah.
I think so that he had intentions all along, and that nobody knew about it, and it came out. And see, God always brings out the bad, to reveal who's who and what's what. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what happened.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. And not
because
meeting with...
he talked, and he talked about keeping the war going.
DeSantis in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about
DeSantis... he was president, he was going to keep it going.
One thing about DeSantis, it's like these stories I'm going through now. All you hear from DeSantis are about fundraising and his PACs. That's all. All he cares about are the donors. And the donors want to keep this fake war against Russia going, this proxy war, because they make money off of it.
Yeah. The money gets trickled back into their pockets. They're all a bunch of crooks.
Yeah,
There's only a few good people on the Republican team, like you always say, Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Matt Gaetz. And that's about. It's hard to come up with a third one. Jim Jordan.
There's another guy that.
Jim Jordan.
What's his name? He's always. Jim Jordan, and then
Comer.
There's another guy.
Comer.
Yeah, but there's another one where he's always testifying and getting mad at people.
I'm not sure who
really
you're talking
popular.
about.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he sticks up for Trump all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few of them, but there's a lot of bad rhinos in there.
Oh, and Ron DeSantis is one of them.
Right, but I can't stand that. What's that guy, the one where his niece is working? That idiot from, he's a Mormon out in Utah.
Oh, Mitt Romney.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I can't stand him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
He has made so many disgusting comments about Trump that if I were in front of him, I would slap him right in the face.
Oh, no, you wouldn't do that. That'd be a federal crime. You don't want to be like those liberals that attack, Rand Paul all the time.
Well,
hey, listen.
You know what?
No, Ron. No more of that. No, she's not going to do that, and she doesn't want to do that. Okay. Sometimes you got to save people from themselves, okay? Let me get back to this. Okay, this is the Never Back Down Trump PAC. Not only does the Never Back Down run and monitor DeSantis' usual campaign duties, but Never Back Down also plans his travel events and makes connections with potential backers. During the Never Back Down DeSantis PAC presentation, which lasted an hour, its COO, Christian Davison, and its chief strategist, Jeff Rowe, spoke to the crowd about DeSantis' odds ahead of the primary as well as their long-term strategies. Rowe ironically told donors, "Now let me tell you a secret. Don't leak this." He said, "Don't leak this." Okay. According to CNN, they mentioned how they would be leaning more heavily on Casey DeSantis, Ron's glamorous wife and the mother of their 3 kids, during the campaign for president. Okay, now talk about this for a second, because they've realized he's not likable. People don't like him, so they're going to bring out the wife. And I was telling my wife about this yesterday. I saw James Carville many years ago. James Carville was the campaign manager for Bill Clinton. And back in the 90s, he was considered like the greatest campaign manager in the country. And I saw him speaking to a group of political science students at, I want to say, Princeton. And it was being carried live on C-SPAN at the time. And I was watching it, and he was going through campaign ads of people running for different offices and to the students. And he played this one ad for a woman who was running for Congress. And she said, "I'm a wife and I'm a mother and I take good care of my kids." And he said something very honest. No one gives this is what James Carville said, not me. No one gives a shit about you being a good wife, a good husband, a good mother, or a good father. They just want to know what you're going to do when you're in office to help them. And that's so true. And, bringing the wife out who's not running, that's a losing strategy. Never back down. At some point, Never Back Down is going to have to back down and fold, right? I mean, it's just going to happen because DeSantis is a loser. Davison told the crowd, with her help, this is DeSantis' wife, Casey, with her help, they can convert an entire room. She just brings a level of humility and warmness. Now, I will tell you, okay, I have met Casey DeSantis, and I'm not one to criticize people's wives very often, but I'll do a little bit of, I'll give you my observations, okay? I was as close to Ron DeSantis and Casey DeSantis as I am to this camera right here, okay, when he was doing some interviews. And she was standing next to Ron DeSantis while he was doing an interview, and she was holding one of their kids. And she was looking at him, just looking at him like she's in love and all this stuff. And the way I took it, and again, I was as close as I am to the camera, I was really focused in on her during this interview because it was strange. And what I felt like at the time was that she was acting. It just didn't seem real to me. It seemed like she was faking it, trying to put on this image of this family thing while he was doing the interview on television. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, I guess they got stage fright. You're welcome to call. The number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're watching me. The presentation touched on how DeSantis' selling point in the eyes of voters, according to their data, is the fact that he has a military background besides being a blue-collar worker in his family's image. Okay, now we all respect his military service. He was a JAG lawyer assigned to the SEALs, not a Navy SEAL, to give them legal advice before they took, military action. Okay. But this blue-collar worker thing, what's that all about? He's a blue-collar worker? I never view him as a blue-collar worker. And the family image, as I was just talking about, before I even got to that line in this story, just seems fake. Just seems a little too much. It just seems a little too much. This was a facet DeSantis highlighted in the GOP speech later that night as he told the Milwaukee crowd he worked minimum wage jobs to be able to make ends meet. He did say in his book he worked some jobs while he was in college. Okay, I mean, so he worked when he was in college? How many of you worked when you were in college or high school? I mean, I was working in middle school, mowing lawns. Vote for me! Give me a break. I'm sorry. It's just, it's not enough. It doesn't impress. What's that Shania Twain song? It doesn't impress me much, or whatever. Remember that song? Okay. The donor presentation. See, this is another problem. A presentation to donors. Donald Trump gives a presentation to voters, to people, to the American population, not donors. I mean, what the heck? The donor presentation also touched on DeSantis is weighing up against Trump's campaign. He shared their goal of getting more than 100,000, what is this? Iowans. Oh. You know what it is? It's like the I could be an L there. You know what I mean? They're typing out Iowans to the caucus for the Floridian governor. But as the executive showed fear about how Trump's natural way of earning free and organic media attention and how the former president's indictments have actually had positive impacts on the campaign, the never back down PAC leaders spent their time trying to persuade donors to help them overcome Trump's seemingly advantageous position in their respect. They reiterated that they have 60 days to get ahead of Trump. You could have 6,000 days. You're not going to get ahead of Trump. Yeah, now Roz had called in earlier asking about my wife. My wife is recovering. She's in the other room in our bedroom, lying in bed, watching the stream. And she was in the chat a little while ago. She had surgery yesterday, and she's not supposed to be moving around or anything because she has all these stitches where they did the surgery. But she's doing well, and she is just recovering from the surgery. That's why I wasn't on the air yesterday. And thank you to everyone who has sent me messages asking about my wife. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all of that. Let's see. I lost my spot. Okay. In the audio clip heard on CNN, they said Donald Trump probably gets roughly at least $30 million of earned media every single day. So all this talk, like I'm talking about Trump all the time, television and everything, they say that equals $30 million in advertising revenue a day. I don't think so. I think Donald Trump gets so much attention from every level of the media, television, online like this, podcast, radio shows, all that stuff, that it's more money than can be measured because the people love Trump. Like this, you see these stories, that they're trying to keep him off the ballot. Like here in Florida, a judge just threw that crap out, but there was a judge, there's some people in New Hampshire trying to keep Trump off the ballot. I want you guys to think about what that means. Oh, the insurrection, all that bullshit. Here's the thing. Okay? This is what when you hear these people say, we're going to try to keep Trump off the ballot because of this, that, or this is what they're really saying. Trump is so popular with the American people, no one can beat him. We've tried everything. We've put up every loser and grifter we can find. We've done every type of polling. We've arrested him. We've got mugshots. We've got 4 major criminal cases. He's facing over 1,000 years in prison. He's unbeatable. The American people love and support this man so much he can't be beaten, so let's just take him off the ballot. Well, what the hell is that all about? What the hell is that all about? You know? We can't be, so we're going to try to get him off the ballot. You think we're stupid? You know, this is how they are. If you didn't go to one of the Ivy Leagues, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, the Columbia School of Journalism, or the London School of Economics, which is probably just a CIA recruiting hub, if you didn't go to one of those schools, they think you're just stupid and you'll buy whatever line of crap they throw your way. Well, that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Let's see here. We're number 2. This is the never back down DeSantis PAC talking. We're number 2 with roughly $5 million to $6 million every single day. Where you see the spikes are after every indictment. After every indictment, it goes up $100 million of earned media, and in a presidential race, no news is bad news. What we really learned in 2016 is that Donald Trump dominated earned media, and we see that happening now. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, let's vote for him because his wife looks nice. I mean, give me a break. Again, this is the never back down, the DeSantis PAC people talking. We can't lose to Trump. If Trump's the nominee, we're going to lose the White House. How can they say that? If Ron DeSantis has clearly alienated all of the Republican base, right? I mean, is there anyone who's a Republican in here who would tell me that under any circumstances they would vote for Ron DeSantis? Or any of these other jerks that are running against President Trump in the... Of course not. So how can any of these people be able to win the general election if they can't beat Trump in the primary? And so far as DeSantis, no matter how many polls that come out, they've stopped polling in Florida. I haven't seen a poll in Florida in over 2 months. And the last polls that came out of Florida that were Trump versus DeSantis, Trump was about 30 points ahead. This is before all these indictments and the mugshot. Trump was over 30 points ahead of Ron DeSantis in Florida. So if Ron DeSantis can't beat Trump in Florida, where he's the sitting governor, who less than a year ago was reelected to a second term, how's he going to beat Biden if he can't win even Florida, right? Give me a break. We can't lose to Trump. If Trump's the nominee, we're going to lose the White House. If we lose the White House, we're going to lose the Senate. Well, we've already lost the Senate, thanks to these never-Trumpers. And if we lose the Senate, we're going to lose the House. And Democrats are going to be in charge of the full House, the Senate, and the White House for at least 2 years. Well, what difference, to quote Hillary Clinton, of course, what difference does it make if you have a bunch of fake MAGA, uniparty Republicans that do whatever the Democrats want them to do? You know, the reason that President Trump didn't get to finish the wall isn't because of Pelosi or Schumer. It's because of the Republican never-Trumpers, fake Republican rhinos, like Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. That's why the wall wasn't finished. We controlled both houses for the first 2 years. And first off, yeah, in Georgia, Brian Kemp should fire Fani Willis, pardon President Trump, and the rest of the Trump 19 in Fulton County. That's it. Should just happen. But that's how Republicans are. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Rob from California, Brian.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, listen, don't whisper like you did a few minutes ago. It reminds me too much of Biden.
Oh, when I whisper, you want me to talk low? Well, I'm not sniffing anyone's hair.
Yeah, but it's just that creepiness.
Like this. Like this.
Anyway,
Inflation
I
Reduction
got one more
Act.
thing to say. I always stop it. Stop it. You're creeping me out.
I know. Biden's creepy, man.
Yeah. Hey, I have a nickname, for Jim Jordan. It's not a bad nickname,
Okay.
but it seems like every time I see him, he's wearing a yellow tie. So I call him Mr. Yellow Tie.
Really? I've never noticed that. He doesn't wear jackets.
Yeah. And one last thing. When you cast like this, when you have that blue screen up, there's the Brian Craig to show up on top.
Yeah.
I think you should alternate that and put the phone number up on top, because then this way people could see it.
Well, I can add it to it, but people can hear. The number to call in is 1-888-465-2631. But I'll take that under consideration.
All right, hey, thank you. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, take care. Take care. Yeah, I like the blue background. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'll put the number up there behind me. But you guys can call me, 1-888-465-2631. Okay, he knows the number. You guys can know it too. I've lost my... Okay, we're gonna lose. Yeah, you know what does it matter if we had the White House, the Senate, and the House if they're all a bunch of Brian Kemp, Paul Ryan types? What do we get out of that? That's the worst that could happen. The Never Back Downs PAC for the goal of the end of the year is $50 million. They announced around $25 million of this is for spending on airtime between Labor Day and Halloween in New Hampshire and Iowa. You know this thing about spending money. This is how they view us, right? They think if they just run a bunch of ads. Yeah, thank you, Rome, Wisconsin. Yeah, you can flood the chat with the number. That'll help. Not in the Roman numerals, by the way. The Roman numerals I don't think would help too much, Rome. I have to really think to go through the Roman numerals, but in the regular digits would help. They actually think if they just spend more money on ads, that people are going to wake up and say, yeah, we like this guy. You know, one of the problems that DeSantis' campaign has a lot of problems. The main problem is he screwed us over. He lied to all of us, and he betrayed Trump and the MAGA movement. Okay, that's this big problem. But a lot of the problem that he has here now is that he's got a bunch of old people, right? The Karl Rove crew running his campaign, and they're old timers. Okay, these guys. You know, they don't even have DVRs because they don't know how they work. These are guys that still have DVD players and VCRs in their house, and they're running this campaign like it's the 1990s. They don't understand that he's done. Also, as I was saying a little while ago, a lot of these guys, these fundraisers get a commission on the money they raise, so they don't give a darn if they raise the money. They don't care how effective it is. They still get a commission on the money raised. I don't know what the commission is on raising $50 million, but it's probably more money than I got in the bank right now, and most of you guys, right? So, you know, this is just what these fundraisers are. They're like dealing with timeshare salesmen is what they're trying to do, trying to con you to get their commission. In the most recent fundraising this year, half of the $47 million came from Robert Bigelow, a Nevada businessman and space entrepreneur. So half of the money that he's raised, Ron DeSantis, came from one guy, okay? And there's, by the way, if you're new to my channel and you're just subscribing, welcome. You're going to love this channel, I promise you. You will never hear me disagree nor criticize the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, all right? So, yeah, I know. This is exciting, guys. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Eddie from Virginia.
Eddie in Virginia. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to a little bit to what you were saying. I mean, you've said everything. Literally is on my mind. But I just wanted to add this. Could you imagine how powerful the conservative side would be if the conservatives would just stick together the way the Democrats and the leftists do? Could you just imagine the power of that? Mm-hmm. You know, we're so split up into like 20 different factions, and anti-Trump and anti-Trump and crazy, greedy people, you know? But the Democrats don't have anti-Bidens and anti-leftists, and they all stick together.
For the most part,
And if we just had that, we would blow this out of the water. I just wanted to add that real quick. I'm listening to your show and I'm loving it. And
well, welcome.
Peace and prayers to your wife as well.
Well, thank you,
so
thank
I'm
you.
just going to go back to listening. I just wanted
All right,
to add that.
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good point. So I want you guys to think about this. So DeSantis has raised $100 million. About half of it, $47 million, came from one guy. Okay, another $20 million of the money, just so you guys know. I've talked about this before, but nobody else has. Ron DeSantis had transferred $20 million that he had left over in his gubernatorial reelection campaign to his presidential campaign. And that was money that he raised when people thought he was MAGA, okay? When people thought he was MAGA. Remember when I went and was with the governor and his wife at that event? That was a $500 a person event to be in the room with Ron. I didn't have to pay the $500. They let me in for free. But everybody else in there, except my friends that I snuck in. So any of my friends that I got in there, that was a $500 per person fundraiser. Okay? They thought he was MAGA. They thought he was MAGA. He's not MAGA. So he took this $20 million that he raised from MAGA people and transferred it to his presidential campaign and said, look, I got another $20 million. No, he didn't. So that's $67 million that came from two sources, right? One guy and his own gubernatorial campaign when people thought he was MAGA. That really should have been given refunds when he came out of the closet as fake MAGA. And the rest of the money, I don't know where that came from, but, whatever. Let's see here. This is Roe was the DeSantis PAC guy. He also made light of other GOP candidates apart from Trump and DeSantis, saying that voters see Tim Scott of South Carolina as nice, but not seen as presidential. He also told the crowd that Nikki Haley was not actually a lovely person. Okay. The news of the Never Back Down's own leaked strategies come after the Daily Mail revealed that another super PAC, Ron to the Rescue, was closing. That's the one I shared first and is now backing President Trump. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I want to let me reach over here, right next to. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Rome, Wisconsin has put the link to the Mighty MAGA Lion in the chat. It's mightymagalion.com. This is, of course, available exclusively here. My wife and I have partnered with Dee, who's one of my moderators that's a regular in the chat, and we designed and had made the Mighty MAGA Lion, and of course, Trump is a lion, and this is the only place you can get it, mightymagalion.com, and this is a limited edition product exclusively to me, because we created this, and you can see he has on his MAGA hat, the Mighty MAGA Lion. It has 45 on the side, and you can order yours at mightymagalion.com, mightymagalion.com. Oh, yeah, I love it. And limited edition, and order yours. And when you receive it in the mail, when you get it in the mail, it will be packaged by my wife and myself personally, okay? Right here at home. That's right. So it'll be coming right to us. Isn't that pretty cool? The Mighty MAGA Lion. So go to mightymagalion.com, mightymagalion.com, and order yours. Yeah, D is in the chat, and isn't it adorable? Nice tail in the back. I love it, and he's very cuddly, as you can see. Let me see here. I lost. Okay, here we go. Donors who would supply $50 million backed out. That's the other one. While the Florida governor's campaign was guilty of rookie shit mistakes, and that PAC is now backing Donald Trump. So one of his PACs has stopped backing him, Ron DeSantis. Now they're backing Trump. The other PAC, which is the more famous one, the Never Back Down PAC, is in desperation mode to raise money. And this is just a great time. This is a great time. I mean, and they're so desperate about it. They're saying, we need $50 million. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Yeah, I need $50 million too. Oh, my goodness. Who else needs $50 million? Oh, no. Exactly. Oh, man. So, okay. Now, this story here pains me a little bit to share because it's I love Newsmax. You guys I love Newsmax, and I understand this week that Greg Kelly is moving to the 9 p.m. time slot, which I'm excited about. Rob Schmidt and Greg Kelly on Newsmax are the two best in cable news. What's left of it? I mean, cable news is pretty vacuous these days. Yeah, can you give a $50 million super chat? Does YouTube allow that? I need $50 million. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez. I tell you. Yeah, but Ron needs it. So anyway, I love Newsmax. And Chris Ruddy, who I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with Chris Ruddy. Chris Ruddy, no one's perfect, okay? But Chris Ruddy is the guy who, in the Clinton years, uncovered so much of the smut around Bill Clinton. He was out there before anyone talking about the Vince Foster suicide controversies and all of that. The state troopers parading him around to hookers in Little Rock, and Bill Clinton's black son, Danny Williams, and all of that he fathered with a prostitute and all that stuff. All that came from Chris Ruddy. And it was amazing. We used to have Chris Ruddy on the radio back then. And that was before the internet. So what I don't remember, and it was before there was no Newsmax cable channel. There was no Newsmax website, really, because the internet was new. And there was no Newsmax magazine. The website came before the magazine. So I don't remember what vehicle or platform or whatever that Chris Ruddy used to get his information out back then. It's been so long. If anybody remembers, what did he do to get his information out? Maybe Newsmax.com did exist back then. I can't remember. I don't know. If anybody remembers, let me know how he got all that out. But anyway, a bit of a controversy has come out about Newsmax that I want to share with you. And this one here, it involves Ramaswamy. Okay, now this website, Semaphore, had a story here. Republican candidate that's told associates Newsmax tried to make him pay for coverage, okay? And Ramaswamy responded to this. I've got some video I'm going to share with you in a moment. This is the story. If Vivek Ramaswamy wants to appear on Newsmax, he should pay to do it. This is the story that was reported, okay? That was the message that network chief Chris Ruddy delivered to the Republican presidential candidate during a private call earlier this summer, according to two people to whom the candidate described the conversation. Ramaswamy had complained that the right-leaning network was sticking him a little, watch midday slots, or ignoring him outright, okay? Ruddy also suggested a solution. Ramaswamy told associates, buy more television ads on the network, meaning buy more on Newsmax. Ramaswamy told them. Noted that such a transaction had helped Republican businessman Perry Johnson. Okay. In a statement, Newsmax's spokesperson told Semaphore that Newsmax is asking candidates to advertise in order to ensure coverage as some quid pro quo is untrue and incorrect. Newsmax would take an assertion very seriously. There's no correlation between advertising and editorial visibility for any candidate on Newsmax. Okay. So that's the story. And I've never heard of Semaphore before, but I saw this on social media, and but I've never heard of Semaphore before. Have you? Any of you heard of it? Maybe you have. I have not. So then, Ramaswamy was interviewed. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Ramaswamy was interviewed by Sean Spicer, who used to be on Newsmax and left and now is doing his own thing, the Sean Spicer Show. And Sean Spicer brought this up to Ramaswamy.
One last question, because I know your time is tight.
Yeah.
There was, in the last couple days, Newsmax has put out several texts and Instagram posts talking about the polling, and neither here nor there, but it seems to be going after you, talking about, and I just how you fared after the debate. But there was a story that had come out in an outlet called Semaphore a couple of weeks ago saying that they had tried to pressure you into buying more ads. Can you just clarify, is that true? And do you think that that's why their posts and such target you in a way that might not be fairly?
Well, I have seen a difference in coverage since that story came out from Semaphore. So that's just a fact. And I think you and others have apparently noticed it too. I didn't provide that information to Semaphore, but Semaphore did report that Newsmax said that, you know what, one of the ways we could get more coverage was through advertising. And so, look, I want to be respectful to colleagues across the political spectrum. People can look at the facts and form their own judgments about which candidates have been or had purchased ads and have been, treated in a certain way on that network, even some candidates who weren't on that debate stage. But, I'm not in this race to disparage or to, embarrass anybody else. I'm in this race to speak the truth about what I stand for and where we're headed. All I will say is it has been very educational for me to see how corrupt the existing political media establishment is. And that's not limited to right wing or left wing. It's just a broken system, the super PAC puppetry of the way partisan politics is run. It's been an eye-opening experience for me, but all the more reason why it's given me my sense of conviction that it takes a true outsider willing to speak the truth to get that job done. And on the particular question that you're asking about, I think it wouldn't take Sherlock Holmes to do their homework and figure out for themselves, both before and after, exactly how things go down in media.
All right.
Okay. So, by the way, Itchy Brain, thank you for that super chat. Okay, so Ramaswamy here, he said you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this out. So is that a confirmation of it? He didn't confirm nor deny it. And Itchy Brain said Vivek Ramaswamy, we've heard nothing about Ramaswamy when you get to the, that's good. I mean, I know he always says the right things, okay? He always says the right things, no doubt about that. But when you hear things about his background, right? Soros's brother helped pay for his graduate school education. Some friends of Jeffrey Epstein have donated to his campaign, right? That's not good. And he's from the pharmaceutical industry. Since when do Maga support people from the pharmaceutical industry after the past 3-4 years, right? So there's nothing about his background, Ramaswamy, that makes me say you got to vote for this guy. And as I often say, anytime I talk about him, there's a bunch of millennial influencers on the Daily Caller, the Daily Wire, the Blaze, and independents like me that are on YouTube and other platforms. They're millennials. He's a millennial. So they're all excited because, he's a millennial and I'm a millennial and let's promote him because he's a millennial. So there's a lot of that bullshit going on, okay? So, and I think he's gotten elevated. Like when I was at Turning Point USA, when Ramaswamy came down, that audience of college and high school Republicans just went nuts, like the biggest celebrity in Hollywood had walked out on stage. So I think the millennials are propping him up just because millennials like him. And they have a lot of influence on the online influencer platforms. But so far as this, I don't know if that's true or not, okay? I have no idea. I know I love Newsmax. I love Rob Schmidt. I love Greg Kelly. There's other people there I like a lot too, like Eric Bolling and others. But those are my two favorites on Newsmax. And even though he's controversial, you got to give Chris Ruddy a lot of credit for all the great things he's done for our great movement. So, I mean, if it wasn't for Newsmax TV, Fox News would still be number one in cable news without any competition. So, welcome. If you're a new member, welcome, everyone. Yes. And if you are a member, by the way, there's a lot of exclusive member to my YouTube channel. If you become a member to my YouTube channel, there's a lot of exclusive content and videos that only members have access to. You also get your name in a different color so you stand out. The green people are members. And you get access to all the cool member-only emojis in the chat, including the new one my wife created, which is the Trump mugshot. So, but anyway, what this is doing, obviously Sean Spicer has a beef with Newsmax. I guess he did not leave on his own terms, or maybe they didn't want to pay him what he thought he should be paid. There's some bad blood with Spicer and Newsmax. You can tell by that. And what Spicer said, it's kind of like Eric Bolling has a beef with Fox, and he's always doing a lot of stuff on his Newsmax show, trashing Fox, which I get and I understand, and they deserve the trashing. But Sean Spicer's got a beef with Newsmax. But Vivek Ramaswamy, I don't trust this guy, okay? I do think he's got the Soros connections and all this. And if you look at what he's doing here, he didn't confirm nor deny it, which is throwing a lot of shade, a lot of negativity towards Newsmax. Who do you think Ramaswamy would like to see the number one in cable news? Fox News or Newsmax? Ask yourself that. Number one in cable news so far as conservative. Fox News or Newsmax? And I would have to say that Ramaswamy would be more of a Fox guy than a Newsmax guy. Wouldn't you? So what he's doing there, I don't really care to buy. I don't buy it too much. I got some other stories I want to go through. This is just a short one here, and I know this story is making its way around. Paper straws contain more forever chemicals than plastic, according to a new study. In this article, this is in USA Today. It's being reported all over the place. Not a fan of those paper straws that have replaced the plastic ones. As it turns out, some of those efforts to save the environment may have been in vain. In a new study published Thursday in the journal Food Additives and Contaminants, yes, we all don't you all subscribe to that and read it? They found evidence of forever chemicals in the majority of both paper and bamboo straws. Now, I don't know. These studies that come out, oftentimes they're put out by the competitor. The plastic straw people may have conducted this study, and like the climate studies, they're paid to come out with a certain result. But I know this. Paper straws suck, okay? There's two things I don't like about paper straws. Number one, I don't like the way the paper straws feel on my lips when I'm drinking. Drives the hell out. I like good old-fashioned plastic straws, okay? And the other thing is, have you ever had a drink with a plastic straw where the straw lasted as long as the drink? So, just complete BS that going on. I'm glad that they're being exposed on that one. Now, this is an interesting story here. This is out of the Hill. House Republicans to allow media and the defendants access to January 6th footage. And I'm not 100% sure if it's all the footage. But this is amazing. The media, certain nonprofits, and criminal defendants will have access to Congress's trove of security camera footage collected during the January 6th riots. That's how the Hill described it, okay? So here's the thing about that. Tucker Carlson, who still is employed by Fox News, they still pay him. They just took him off the air, all right? So I believe they took Tucker Carlson off the air very particularly because of his January 6th coverage he was doing. Okay, remember, he had gotten access to all the coverage. He had his people on it, and he did one night of coverage, which was huge and amazing. It was with the shaman, and the shaman was released from prison based on just that one night of January 6th coverage of Tucker Carlson. Now Tucker Carlson was on that entire week, and he didn't show any other new footage. Okay? And he has since said, since he's left, he said on his new Tucker on Twitter, Tucker on X show, that he doesn't have that footage, that it was all the work product of that was the property of Fox News, and Fox News still have it. So, yeah, I know, So that January 6th coverage is what got rid of him. And that coverage on the first night with the shaman was so amazing because it showed those Capitol Police officers desperately looking for an unlocked door to lead the shaman into the Senate chamber. He didn't break in, find it himself. He was taken there by the Capitol Police right to where the pool photographer was who took the famous photograph we've seen. Now, we don't have any video or anything about how he got in. To me, it seemed as if he was picked on the cameras out. They saw him outside and probably went and got him and brought him in for the photo op because he was so flamboyant in the way that he looked. But he was released from prison early because of that. One night. So what I'm wondering about this, will Tucker Carlson be part of the media that is allowed access to it? Okay. I know that Tucker is saying he was fired. When I saw him at Turning Point, he said he was fired. But Megyn Kelly has said that he's still on the payroll. They've just taken him off the air. Okay? And him saying he was fired, he's in a legal battle with Fox News now. Okay? So he may be using that as saying he was fired as a way to get out of his contract and part of his legal case. But Megyn Kelly says he's still on the payroll. They've just taken him off the air, and I've not heard her update that. So that's where I think it is. Even though he keeps saying he was fired, he was, but they're trying to control him, and they've just made things worse for themselves. Fox News. But here's what I wonder: will Tucker Carlson have access to this footage? And a lot of his producers and everything from Fox News were fired as well, and some of them, I understand, are working for him on his Twitter on X broadcast. Okay? So do they have enough knowledge where they could go into the raw footage, which God only knows how many hours that is, and go inside and find the footage that they had found before and had edited into segments for Fox News that we never saw? Can Tucker Carlson get access to this, and can he and his team recreate what they were going to bring us on his Fox News show that led to his termination? That's what I want to see, because that is what did him in at Fox. Yes, I did see the Adam Carolla interview with Tucker. In fact, I did it in the live stream before this one was an entire live stream about that interview that Adam Carolla did, which I thought was very, very good. It was an interview of Tucker, not Tucker interviewing him, and it was pretty awesome. So if Tucker can get access to this footage and recreate what he was going to show us, even in part because just that one night of coverage freaked them out so much, that would be an amazing thing, and I would be very, very excited to see that. By the way, if you're just tuning in, this is the Mighty Maga line, available exclusively through me. My wife and I have partnered with Dee, who is one of my moderators in the chat right now, and have created this. They're available in a limited edition number and only through us at mightymagalion.com. This is our creation and our website. I got a sneeze coming on, guys, so bear with me. Hold on. Oh, thank you very much. But you can see he is wearing his MAGA hat. It has 45 on the side. Beautiful tail. And he's just a great, great gift for yourself or your MAGA friends or your kids or grandkids. And very cuddly. MightyMagaLion.com. All right? MightyMagaLion.com. Oh, man. Yes, exactly. So, a lot of things are happening. And, thank you for the bless yous. I appreciate that. Oh, sorry, guys. It's still coming. Now, this is an interesting thing here. I really like this. A Washington Post columnist. Did any of you guys see this? A Washington Post columnist was confronted with Biden's crooked dealings. And let me tell you, this, I don't like Democrats, okay? And I would imagine most of you don't either. But without question, Joe Biden is the scummiest and most criminal president we've ever had of any political party. Now, of course, George W. Bush is a war criminal. And every time I see these Wounded Warrior veterans, it just upsets me that he lied about weapons of mass destruction. So he's pretty bad too. But Joe Biden is just a sleazy criminal who takes bribes, okay? And the Washington Post, of course, is the paper of Woodward and Bernstein. They're proud Democrats. And I'm going to show you this video. Washington Post columnist walks off a podcast after getting confronted with Joe Biden's business dealings with Hunter. Isn't this amazing? I mean, this is beautiful. And I'll play you this interview. Let me pull it up here. I got it. Yes, here it is. Okay. His name is that his name? Philip Bump? Philip Bump? His last name is Bump? Oh my, come on. What kind of name is that? Philip Bump gets up and leaves a podcast when confronted with evidence of Joe Biden receiving money from Hunter Biden's business dealings. Let me play this. This is great. These liberals, what a jerk this guy is.
What do you take from the text message to his adult daughter, Hunter's text message, I have to give 50% of my income to Pop?
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what.
This is when you're living in liberal land, right? And this is from the laptop from hell, which is a beautiful laptop that we all love. And And I always recommend Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell Will Blow Your Mind. As much as you think you know about Joe Biden and how scummy and corrupt he is, you don't know anything until you go through this book. And the audiobook is the better one to get. If you can get the audiobook of Miranda Devine's Laptop from Hell, it'll blow your mind, okay? And in the laptop, see, Hunter Biden he's a drug addict, of course, right? I mean, he's just complete burnout. And, you know, all these corrupt dealings where he's making all this money from the Chinese fake hedge fund, Burisma and everything. One of the things you get from the laptop is that Hunter doesn't realize that he's just some money mule, that his scummy father and his mob wife stepmother, that's Jill Biden, just have him do all these things to get money for them. He thinks, Hunter Biden, he's a nutcase. He thinks that he is a successful international businessman who actually works for a living. He has no idea of what's going on here. He's that far gone. And in this message this guy's sharing with his Washington Post jerk-off here, Hunter's telling his sister Ashley that all of his hard-earned money, that he's got to give half of it to Pops, to Joe. And then the other half he has to split between the rest of the family. And in the email, he's like pissed off, Hunter, that I've got to give half of my hard-earned money to Dad. Tells you how far gone he is. Anyway, let's get back to this. Is the Washington Post columnist.
What do you take from the text message to his adult daughter? Hunter's text message. I have to give 50% of my income to Pop.
I have no idea what that means. I don't. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's
I know it's circumstantial evidence, and you prefer that.
No,
to
what
direct
what
evidence.
could it be?
I have no idea.
But doesn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I appreciate your.
Has anybody asked her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you think somebody should ask her?
Okay. Like I'm not. I just said I don't know, and I don't know what to make of it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
what do you want me to say?
Yeah, but you say there's no evidence. But then there's a text message where he says, "I give Pop 50% of my money." That's evidence.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
So
it's evidence. I appreciate you having me on.
It doesn't. That something like that.
He's getting ready to bolt.
Who do you think more? I listen to that and I'm saying,
Am I?
You can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this, because that way you can
you can go.
Right.
Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes, and then I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah.
Now he's complaining that he's so busy. He's been on a half hour longer than he agreed.
Who do you think is more? I listen to that and I'm saying, you can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this, because that way you can
you can go.
Right.
Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes, and then
go.
I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah, that after a while I go. Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And then he bolts out of there. See, you know, newspapers are dying because of this. Newspapers are not dying because people go online, because the newspapers are available online. The reason newspapers are dying is because they're filled with liberal lies and nonsense. They're biased in what they don't report. They're biased in what they do report. And there's alternative news sources like me where you get the truth, right? You know, in the days of Woodward and Bernstein, you had the 3 television networks and the New York Times and the Washington Post. Those were really the only newspapers. All the other newspapers in the country just reprinted what the Washington Post or the New York Times reported. And they've lost their dominance. You know, the Daily Mail, they're liberal, but they report the news even if it doesn't agree with their viewpoints. You know, the Daily Mail is the #1 most read newspaper in the English-speaking world. Because even though they're liberal, they report everything, even if it doesn't fit their agenda. And who reads it with the paper form? I don't know if it's even available in paper form. Maybe it is in the UK, but we read it online. So these newspapers could still be doing well if they reported the real news and were not fake news. So far as this guy with the Washington Post who claims to not know anything about any of these business dealings, the Washington Post claim to fame is their Watergate reporting. And if you go back to the Watergate reporting, most of that reporting was unsourced, anonymous sources, which means they were just making crap up and saying they had anonymous sources telling them such things. So, you know, give me a break. Now all of a sudden they need credible sources that, you know, you can't question, et cetera, just complete, utter nonsense. And, let's not forget, if you've not done so already, if you can, Harrison Floyd, who finally got out of jail thanks to you and me and others. The one black man that Fannie Willis arrested in Fulton County as part of the Trump 19 in this kangaroo court system they have in Fulton County, Georgia, he did make bail, $100,000 bail earlier this week, but he still needs to raise money. And Byron Donalds is the one who sent this out. This is the Give, Send, Go, the official legal defense fund for Harris and Floyd. He has raised $294,140. His goal was only $200,000, but I'm going to tell you, they're going to burn through that right quick. So Harris and Floyd, and he needs your help, okay? He said the other night he was on with Greg Kelly, which was a great interview. It was the first interview, I believe, with Harrison Ford after he got out of that disgusting jail. He spent a week there, was on with Greg Kelly on Newsmax, and he said when they put him in a jail cell, there was feces smeared on the wall. Isn't that nice? Yeah, they couldn't get, I know, that's the kind of jail that they have going on in there. And so he said the minimum retainer for someone in a case like this, just a retainer, that's the down payment, not including the thousands per hour, is $40,000 to $100,000. So if you can help him, please do. In fact, I saw an interview actually with Jenna Ellis yesterday talking about what they put her through, and they really put her through the ringer when they booked her. She's a traitor, okay? She's been back at DeSantis for months. I don't trust Jenna Ellis, but they treated her pretty bad. But if you can, support the Harrison Floyd Legal Defense Fund. It's right here on Give, Send, Go. Yeah. Can you imagine? He's raised almost $300,000 already, but it's not enough, guys. It is not enough. There's another story I wanted to share with you that I'm looking for. This one here, when I first heard this story, I thought this was a joke. And, Planned Parenthood, a lot of people, Planned Parenthood, you know what their official name is? Planned Parenthood Incorporated. They're a corporation. And when President Trump did what everyone thought was impossible, overturning Roe v. Wade, I mean, who would have ever thought that overturning Roe v. Wade was possible? And make no mistake about it, President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. I believe personally that will be his greatest accomplishment even after his second term, because he is saving babies every day. There were babies who were being born today that would not have been born if President Trump had not overturned Roe v. Wade by putting together the perfect Supreme Court. And, it's like that end of Schindler's List where you see the survivors of Schindler at the end of Schindler's List. How many people are alive today because of Schindler? Well, how many people are going to be alive that would not have been alive because of Donald Trump from now and forever because he overturned Roe v. Wade? So that's just amazing. Now, if you're Planned Parenthood, which is a business, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, well, it interrupts your business plan. So Roe v. Wade, as any corporation struggling, has come up with a new way to make money. And this one is crazy. It's vasectomies. Vasectomies. Yes, look at this. Look at this. I thought this was a joke. Planned Parenthood is offering free vasectomies to uninsured young men in a mobile van, and the mobile van is called the Nutcracker. So, yeah, that's right. So now I know what you're saying. Well, they're not making money. They're doing these for free. Well, they're only doing 100 for free. Now, all I've heard Planned Parenthood say my entire life is back alley abortions and all of this stuff. Okay, so now they want to do vasectomies in a van on the side of the road? Would you go into a van and guys, and have someone take a scalpel down to your crotch and give you a vasectomy? Screw that. Especially a bunch of man-hating women that work at Planned Parenthood. You don't want these man-haters at Planned Parenthood anywhere near your penis or testicles with a scalpel, guys, okay? But they're trying to get into the vasectomy business. So let me go through this. Planned Parenthood is offering free vasectomies to uninsured young men, despite the fact that the procedure may not be as reversible as people think. In October, Planned Parenthood of St. Louis and Southwest Missouri will perform 100 free vasectomies for uninsured and underinsured patients in honor of World Vasectomy Day at 3 of its locations. Okay, so don't you get what they're doing? These scummy people, well, Planned Parenthood, they're scummy people. Look what they've done for all these decades, right? So they're only offering 100 free vasectomies. So what's happening? They're getting global press coverage over this. I'm talking about it. It's all over the place. You know, a lot of conservatives are talking about it. So now the word is out for free, millions of dollars of free publicity, that if you want a vasectomy, guys, go to Planned Parenthood. Now, you're too late for the free ones, but they still do them. And it'll be anonymous. So now they're trying, yeah, exactly. Bunch of winners over there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian. It's IB. How are you?
Hey,
How you
IB,
doing?
what's up?
Not mentally because I can imagine, you know, with Kathy, what's going on there. So I'm
Thank
throwing
you.
blesses over the phone like a halo.
Thank you.
I just
Thank
got
you.
triggered. You're welcome. You're welcome. I just got triggered because this takes me back to when they were talking about when the Supreme Court won the abortion case, and then they started talking about the cruises and having the abortion on cruises. Remember that one?
They were, well, yeah, okay. Here in Florida, you know, we have gambling now in Florida, but before we had casinos in Florida, which we have now all over the place. Before we had casinos, there were cruise ships that were called Cruises to Nowhere, and they would sail out of Florida ports. I've been on these. When they used to do
Sun
this.
Cruise.
Yeah, Sun Cruise, Sea Escape. They were really cheap.
Don't forget the mob. Yeah.
What was the other one?
I said, don't forget the mob hits. I know I've been living in South Florida most of my life, so I know all about the cruises. I've been on them. I've been to all the casinos. So
yeah, well, these cruises, yeah. So these were cruises to nowhere, and you could take a cruise for like $25, $35 on a cruise ship. It just went out into international waters, didn't go to any ports, and as soon as you were in international waters, the casinos open, right? Now Planned Parenthood was using that business model. They were going to take people in international waters for abortions.
Yeah, I hope that people who are not listening to us live, I hope they go back and listen to this show, because I want you to think, you listeners, I want you to think of the mindset of just to establish what Brian is saying, just to actually have those things in place, in position to then do these things. My point is, what it makes me think of is I think this is Andrea word, metrosexualizing our men. This is not good. It's not good for the country. It's not. Brian talks on and on about not having reproduction. I didn't call to talk about this. I was calling to talk about something else, like Vivek or even Joe Biden talking about he's created more job in 2 years than any president done in 4 years by 13 million. But he forgot to count back the people who stopped working under COVID. I mean, everything is all over the place. But I want the Democrats to understand that you guys say, like the guy last week, oh, Trump lied 32,000 times. Name one. Oh, he couldn't name one. But listen, you listeners, Joe Biden is lying in your face every day on television. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's being told what to say. So imagine like the president doesn't know that he's saying the words from his inner self. He's been handed a piece of paper and telling you what to think, people. I mean,
that's right.
Is that what you really want for the presidency? As for Vivek, understand something. I go back to precious metals. I used to do options. So I always known about Soros when he used to like make the foreign exchange market go in one way or the other. This guy have so many companies, Democrats, that he could have created Vivek like someone molded Ron DeSantis. It is peanuts for them to build this guy up, for him to accumulate that kind of money in that short period of time. That is the American dream, but not in that way in that period of time. My point is, Soros owns so many companies. Your head will spin. I mean, it goes into hundreds of companies.
He's far removed. He's so far removed from a lot of them that to know that he's connected to them, you'd have to be like a professional forensic accountant.
Look, all you do is you shell some money to your friend. Okay, your friend builds himself up. It's no different than you opening up savings account in the bank, and you took a certain loan. You paid the money back. They don't know how you're paying that money back. They don't know where that money is coming from. But you're looking good in the eyes of the bank. So they're shining this guy up for him to look good to us, the commoners. For you Democrats that did not see the Robin Hood, black and white if you can. Don't find the modern stuff like with Kevin Costner or anything. Look at an old Robin Hood movie. That is what they're trying to do to us. And while China is creeping up, well, they really are already up our butts. While they're basically about to stick their hands through our butts and strangle us by the neck, you guys are busy fighting this or over that, and mostly over words, just like this case. This case, I mean, it's like total shenanigans. It's a total waste of time that what they're doing over there with that crazy racist lady that came from you-know-where, the Black Panthers. How could you have someone whose parent tried to overthrow another government? That is the definition of insurrection, not Trump still talking while things are going on. I wonder how he coordinated. I wonder how Trump coordinated while he was talking. Hey, this is what you do at this time. This is when to break the windows. You know, this is hey, police. Hey, Capitol Police. I want you to move the barricades at a certain time.
And don't forget that Liz Cheney's committee could find no evidence that Trump had any role in January 6th. So Liz Cheney, one of the biggest, most vocal Trump haters, cleared Trump.
So hey you Democrats, especially Greg too on the bidet. How you liking your boy Ron DeSantis now? Greg too, call in Greg too. Want to hear from you. So don't forget this lady was the person who holds the flag in the front of the parade, Liz Cheney. You know, saying, hey, this is what happened. Da da da. Where is she now? Did she not? In the committee that concluded that there was no evidence found that there was an insurrection, was she not a part of that committee? Well, what happened to her? What happened to her? So Democrats, listen, stop being bamboozled. Remember, I said a couple of weeks ago, America is a ship. It's a boat. The boat has a lot of holes. We need everyone in order to keep that ship from not sinking, and that takes everyone. We must put our differences aside, not follow the regular thing that you listen to. Like this morning, I was listening to Miranda Devine, talking about some certain things, obviously the laptop, and that's why I came up with the numbers, okay? But my point is, listen, cannot listen to these people every day without looking at the other points of views and finding out the facts. Do a little Google search. Get off your music and get off your games and do a little research and read a little bit and find out what's going on.
You were spot on everything you said, man. Hey, take care. Thanks for calling.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, take care. He talks so fast. Who talks faster, IB or Ben Shapiro? He talks pretty fast, but I like what IB says a lot more than Ben Shapiro, because Ben Shapiro hates Trump. Oh man, I know. Well, let me get back to this. By the way, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. And I live stream every day of the week, and I upload a lot of other content here too. I vlog, I upload my podcast with my wife Kathy to this channel, and everything else. So you get a lot of great MAGA content here, and we have a great community. And when I'm live streaming, like with the last caller, I always take live calls on the stream, and it's a toll-free number no matter where you're at, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. So just to finish, so Planned Parenthood has this mobile van called the Nutcracker, and they're giving free vasectomies. I tell you, these are scummy people at Planned Parenthood, but they do know when their business is in trouble how to adapt. Yeah, IB is a very good caller. Very good caller. Now, this story here, look at this. Moderator for the next Republican debate once said Trump empowers white supremacists. Oh, yeah. Is this a debate that they're trying to tell us that he's going to participate in? Oh, give me a break. The next Republican debate will be moderated by Dana Perino and Stuart Varney and Ilya Calderon of Univision. Calderon, that was the big drug trafficker in Miami Vice. Calderon killed Tubbs' partner. Remember that? He was like the big villain in Miami Vice. Remember Calderon? I wonder if she has any connection. Now, that was a fictional character. But anyway, during one of the 2020 debates between Trump and Biden, Calderon said that Trump empowers white supremacists. Oh yeah. So Trump should go to this debate, right? Dana Perino is with the Bushes, so she hates Trump. Okay, Stuart Varney, I've always liked Stuart Varney. And then we have Calderon here, who's got the same name as the main drug trafficker on Miami Vice, who's saying that he empowers white supremacists. Plus, he's up there with a bunch of grifters and losers and Trump haters like Chris Christie. Oh, yeah, Trump, go ahead. the era of the television debate is dead. Let's go back to this. Okay. So Calderon said Trump empowers white supremacists. And that's just it. They just continue to go on. She's with Univision. Univision's Ilya Calderon, who will co-moderate the second Republican presidential debate, is a staunch critic of Donald Trump, accusing him of empowering white supremacist and racist rhetoric. Fox News and Univision announced that Calderon, along with Fox News' Dana Perino and Stuart Varney from Fox Business, will moderate the September 27th debate at the Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley. Well, I think I could miss that one. Oh, man. No, Calderon killed, if you remember your Miami Vice, Calderon killed Philip Michael Thomas's partner. And then Philip Michael Thomas, Tubbs, came to Miami searching for Calderon, and then he joined Miami Vice. Then they had a special 2-part episode. See, I know Miami Vice, where Crockett and Tubbs took Crockett's cigarette boat to the Bahamas looking for Calderon. And, of course, Philip Michael Thomas fell in love with the daughter of Calderon. Yes, that's right. Remember that episode of Miami Vice? Let's see here. Okay, after the 2020 presidential debate on September 19th of 2020, Calderon joined others in accusing Trump of not condemning white supremacists when Chris Wallace asked if he would condemn them. Hold on, caller. I'll be right with you. See, you don't have to condemn white supremacists. It's just a given that we condemn them. And what liberals like to do, like Chris Wallace and Calderon here, is keep asking Trump to condemn white supremacists, even though you don't have to, and even though he's done it, because everybody assumes you condemn them, to imply that the white supremacists are working for him, with him, and behind him, and they need to hear him distance himself from them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, you're on the air, caller. Once.
Oh, hi, this is Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, what's up?
Oh, let me turn you off because I hear you in the...
Yeah, turn down the volume of the device that you're listening to me on. Yes, because there's a delay.
Yeah, that was, why can't they pick moderators that are actually moderate? They always, why don't they have, what's her name? Maria Barona, something like that. Somebody it's on. I'm so tired they pick these people that are either Democrats or anti,
Well, I just think we shouldn't have debates anymore.
I agree with that.
Because, for a waste of time.
Sleepy Joe's not going to debate. He's not going to bother debating. I'd love to see him and some of, RFK, Robert JFK. Yeah. That would be great. Of course, that would be a little, between the two voices, I don't know how that would turn out. But, yeah, he's hard to listen to.
Yeah.
But, and Ron DeSantis, I'm so disappointed. I said, why the hell did he get so, somebody should have said, wait a minute, Ron, don't do it. Even on Joe Rogan, he made a joke, say, if I was on DeSantis' camp, I would have said, don't do it. Don't do it this time. Wait. Mm-hmm. He would have had all the MAGA people. He would have more than that. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but he takes away from, being a governor. And he is a good governor, or I guess he was in 22 and 21.
He's a good governor. I mean, we just got hit by a hurricane. He's getting things organized. He's a good governor.
The biggest thing he did crappy was he didn't take care of the insurance deal.
Well,
he just let the insurance just run,
Yeah.
That's his biggest fault that I've seen, because I could tell you from experience. But he didn't do shit about it.
That's true.
And that's why a lot of people who are conservatives in Florida, they're more pissed at that. So then they take it out on Ron DeSantis.
We're going to get to the point. We're going to. In homeowners insurance companies have been fleeing Florida. Ron DeSantis has done nothing about it, and the only reason he came back to Florida is because he had to. We had that shooting in Jacksonville, and then the hurricane, and then and he'll be out of here as soon as he can. Back to New Hampshire or Iowa, because that's all he cares about. But if you notice, DeSantis didn't do as much press as he did last time. You didn't see you saw DeSantis like at the Emergency Management Center press conferences and stuff.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen him out with the people after he got booed in Jacksonville, because no matter where he goes in front of the public in Florida, he's going to be booed because we hate him in Florida.
Yeah, it's a shame because I was like, he was good for some stuff. Like for instance, I was just reading him one thing. Don't bother doing the mandates in our state, and that's something he was very good at. I know in the beginning with the old people, he was had to do that, but I like his
he has a lot of he has a lot of revisionist history so far as how he handled COVID. We were shut down in Florida, including our beaches, and Ron DeSantis, by the way, during spring break, went on television telling spring breakers not to come to Florida during COVID, and they'd be arrested on the beaches, et cetera, et cetera. We did open up faster, but we were closed down during COVID. Don't let him tell you any different.
Oh, I know. I saw his revisions, but he did it. Like I said, in 22, before he decided to do his campaign crap, and when his book came out, he was on cloud nine. He was really good. He was doing all. I mean, like I said, I love that. I love that Surgeon General he has now. He's like totally anti-vaccine. Yeah. He's anti-everything. I love him. And all these jerks who want to bring back this mask crap and everything, the universities and
what they're doing now, what they're doing now with that is kind of a test run to see if people will comply, and I don't think that's going to happen. I see there's a lot of liberals here that. By the way, thanks for the call. Okay. Hey there, hold on 1 second, caller. I'll be right with you. A lot of liberals, though, they wear their masks around, and then they look at us that don't wear masks as like if we're like subhuman, like they're better and more intelligent, like people that listen to NPR because they wear masks and we don't. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Mike from Louisiana. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. You said people say you can't understand RFK Jr. Well, yes, you can understand him. If you pay attention to him really close, you can understand him. Unlike Biden, who, because of his condition, he mumbles. You really can't understand him because he cannot put two thoughts together at any given time.
Yeah.
That's the difference. But yeah, this is bad. The Democrats know it's bad, and Fox knows it's bad as well because, one, Trump isn't going to go to the debate, and two, Dana Perino is a bushy, I like Stuart Varney. And Calderon, I mean, you're right. I was a big Miami Vice fan, and I know who Calderon is.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Yeah. Well, so you remember, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, but that Univision, I mean, Univision is a big liberal, huge liberal thing, So that's and really, look, there are different. I know there are different Hispanics around, but I guarantee you, he's almost got the Hispanics and the blacks. Trump has got them both locked down. For the next election, probably.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, appreciate thanks so much. It's good to hear from you, Mike. All right, take care. Now, you're all welcome to call in. Now, somebody in the chat had just said check Truth Social, which I just did. So I'm not sure which you were referring me to, but I think it might have been this. Is this what you were referring? Somebody said just a moment ago while I was talking to Mike. You saw me looking at my phone. I was looking up Truth Social because when you say check out Truth, I assume you mean. Hang in there, caller. I assume you mean check out Trump. And Trump is going to meet the Gold Star families from the botched Afghan withdrawal at Bedminster. That's a huge event. Is that what you wanted me to check out? Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is John from Washington State. How you doing?
Hey, John. What's up?
I was just I've been trying to do a super chat for you, but I was going to tell you to check your Truth Social. I left you a few video links I want you to check out.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that why you were in the chat saying that?
One's bad with Vivek, and the other one's got to deal with Georgia elections.
Okay. I'll check them out. All right. Appreciate the call from Washington State. I want to just talk about this, though. Trump meeting with the Afghan withdrawal Gold Star families. Okay. The thing about the Afghan withdrawal, what did Joe Biden screw it up? This is a big possibility with the Afghan withdrawal, and I'll throw this out to you guys, and you can let me know if you think this is true or not. But this is what I think is possible. We all know that Joe Biden does everything he does for money. Everything. he does it to get paid. And, this proxy war against Russia and Ukraine is all about that, right? And we all agree with that. That's not even up for debate. It's just accepted that he does everything he does for kickbacks. He's a corrupt public official. Well, we left back behind in Afghanistan how much weaponry? And it was all brand new. Everything you could imagine, including the newest computerized Apache helicopters. Hey, caller, hold on. Let me finish my thought, then I'll go to you, okay? Everything we left behind, the government had to rebuy from the military-industrial complex donors. So my question to you in the chat, did Biden leave everything behind in Afghanistan on purpose so that the Pentagon had to buy everything over again from his donors in the military-industrial complex? I think that's highly likely. Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Mary from Oswego, New York.
Hey, Maria. What's up?
I just wanted to comment on this election. I want to remind people that they should not be donating to the GOP.
Not at all.
But to donate to Trump.
Absolutely.
Because same thing happened in 2016 where they were all, against Trump, and they, call you up for donations, and I say no. The way you've been treating him, absolutely not.
Exactly.
And
you're right.
That's a big deal. And another thing, can you say online or whatever how to get to the website?
What website?
There to join.
What website is that?
Well, you do your radio show and then you do your podcast, right?
Yep. Oh, you want to listen to my podcast?
Well, I didn't see you on the radio yesterday, but I heard your wife was sick. So
I was not on yesterday. I was not on yesterday.
Well, I hope she's doing well. But no, I just wanted to remind people, and another thing, I don't live in Florida. My husband wanted to move there, but he ran the second time as governor, making the Florida residents thinking that he wanted to be governor again. I mean, to me, that's a betrayal of the people of Florida.
Yeah.
And he was running around the country, going at the same time, going all over the country, like in New York and everything, helping other candidates. All the while, he had no intentions of staying as governor. And then didn't he pass a law there? That
well, they changed a law. The law forbid the governor from any governor could not run for federal office and be governor, and they changed the law in Florida. Ron DeSantis changed it so he could run and stay governor. Yeah.
I mean,
pretty corrupt.
Is stinky.
Usually when there's a new law, it applies to the future. I've never known of somebody. Could you imagine if Trump changed a law just so he could run for president? That's what DeSantis did. And it's not even in the press.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty corrupt.
But, yeah. So, well, I just wanted to say that you all have a good day.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. Yeah, by the way, a couple things here. One, she'd asked about my podcast. My wife and I co-host a podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast. I do upload my podcast to my YouTube channel here. And when I do that, I do it in a live premiere. So there's a live chat when I upload it live during the week mostly. But also my podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Whatever podcast platform you listen to, you can find it. Just search for the Brian Craig Show podcast. And I co-host that podcast with my wife, Kathy, the Brian Craig Show podcast on all podcast platforms. And somebody was talking about becoming a member. If you become a member to my YouTube channel through YouTube, you get access to all kinds of exclusive member content, exclusive videos and information that only members have access to here on YouTube. And also you get your name in green in the chat so you stand out, and you get access to all the member exclusive emojis that my wife creates. And if you guys that are members could show all those emojis, the newest one is the Trump mugshot emoji. So, but YouTube does limit the number of emojis that we have, so we do update them and retire some because they limit the number you can have. But, yeah. But everything that I do, I upload to my YouTube channel here, too. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you get access to to everything. But I've talked about this before. I think it's very possible that the withdrawal came out the way it did in Afghanistan so that the donors could make money again selling all that same crap over to the Pentagon. And they made billions of dollars doing that. Now, this is a story that I wouldn't normally share because it's not in my normal wheelhouse of things, but I want to do it. Man ghost woman by sneaking out of a hotel room after flying her to Miami for their second date. Let me read this. This is in the New York Post. I want to talk about this, and there's a political aspect which I'll share. A Maryland woman went viral on TikTok after revealing she was ghosted by a man who flew her to Miami, and she said initially she had no idea why. She's 30 years old, said the man packed his stuff up while asleep in a hotel room that they shared and left for good. And this has been reported all over the place, and she made this video. Let me share this.
This guy flew me to Miami for our second date for a vacation thing, and I'm pretty sure he ghosted me while we were here. He left.
Okay. So what and she goes into a lot of detail, which I'm not going to bore you with, but boy, how things have changed. So you have a woman who meets up with a guy she really doesn't know. They hook up in a hotel room, they have sex, and then he leaves, and she doesn't hear from him again. It wasn't that many years ago that if something happened like that, and a lot of you women in the chat, when you were that age, when you were in your 20s and 30s, if you hooked up in a hotel room with a guy that you didn't know just for sex, and then he left, and you never heard from him again, would you go and tell 30 million people watched that video? Would you go and tell 30 million people on television, because we didn't have an internet back then, that you had anonymous sex with a man who you don't know and didn't know in a hotel room, and you're pissed that he left after the sex? I mean, women have no shame. They're both bad. Neither of them are good. But we have really no morals in this country anymore. Ghosted is when, you never hear from the person again. They don't respond to your phone calls, text, emails. There's just no morals in our society anymore. And, back in the 80s and 90s, when the Christian Coalition and others, like at the 700 Club, Pat Robertson and others, were talking about Sodom and Gomorrah and all that stuff, and people were laughing at them, boy, were they right. They were predictors of the future, because we have no morality in this country any longer. And, back when I was younger, a woman like that would have been embarrassed that she was meeting a man for anonymous sex in a hotel. But no, women aren't embarrassed by that. What prohibitions, what morals do we have? The only true, I want you to think about it. What taboos do we have left in American society? Incest is about the only one. That's a bad one. But short of incest, do we have any other taboos in American society any longer? And I would say, no, we do not. No, we do not. Now, again, the Mighty Maga Lion, which is available exclusively through me at mightymagalion.com, is a partnership between me and my wife and Dee, our moderator in the chat. We designed and created the Mighty Maga Lion. It is available exclusively through us at mightymagalion.com. You can get this nowhere else, and we have ordered a limited number. And it's a beautiful lion. Nice tail, very cute, very cuddly. MAGA, he's got MAGA right there on his hat. It says 45 on the side. And you go to mightymagalion.com and order yours. And when it arrives, it'll be bagged, it'll be packaged, it'll be boxed, not bagged, it'll be boxed by my wife and I right here in our home. We're mailing them right out from our house directly to you. So each Mighty Maga Lion you receive, my wife and I will have personally sent it to you. MightyMagaLion.com. These make a great gift for yourself, for your MAGA friends, for your kids, for your grandkids. And it's adorable and cute, isn't it? Nice tail he's got there, you can see. MightyMagaLion.com. Yeah, you can go there right now and order. MightyMagaLion.com. And tell all your friends about it too, okay? And when you buy a MightyMagaLion.com, of course, you're supporting all of my content too. This is available exclusively through us. And we've had all these made and designed and everything else ourselves. My wife, myself, and Dee. All right? MightyMagaLion.com. Also, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You will love my content, I promise you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey,
hope
Berta.
you and your wife did well. I prayed St. Jude, and I have a candle out for you guys for the
Awesome.
weekend.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. Yeah, my
You're very
wife
welcome.
is in our bedroom in bed right now. She had surgery yesterday.
Wonderful.
And she's resting and
good.
recovering.
So she's not in the hospital.
She's home.
Good. Wonderful. Well, I was listening to your show today, and DeSantis is a nobody without Trump.
That's for sure.
Look at him. He's the same one was running against Gillum, begging for Trump to endorse him. This time, he thought he was high and mighty. He forgot who put him there. And look at him. It's the same thing. He's getting booed off his state. I mean, to me, I used to like DeSantis more than Greg Abbott because Abbott was always a Bush with the Bushes.
The Bushes ran Texas for a long time, so they got a lot of power in the Texas Republican Party.
In fact, I even saw Bush's son, who was the president in Midland. He lives in Midland, Texas. They showed up flying in a helicopter and just parked it somewhere, and all the Secret Service and everything. And then after, my daughter goes, "Oh, that's Bush because he lives here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was in shock. But DeSantis is not going anywhere. His campaign's imploding and everything. This time, why is Trump going to go to debate?
Who said he's going to the debate? Who said he's going to the debate?
Oh, okay.
That's all. Those are all lies. He's not said he's going to the debates. The media are doing everything to make the debates relevant. Okay, they've been talking about, oh, you're watching a debate of the vice president, so they're trying to get you interested. Oh, Trump is indicating he might go to the. Trump's not going to these debates.
Okay, good. Because all they're gonna do is just tear him up again. Because Univision's a liberal 100%.
I love how Spanish speakers have perfect American accents until you say Spanish words, and all of a sudden we hear an accent.
Oh, Brian, I'm fluent in Spanish and English. I read and write the same way. But Univision, I'm telling you, is very liberal. I'm surprised it's not from Castro. Then you have the who's the other one you said that?
I think Univision might be too liberal for even Castro, too commie for Castro.
Yes, it is very liberal. I mean, I never could stand Jorge Ramos. Remember Ramos?
Yeah.
Jorge Ramos. I couldn't stand that man. And so they're just want to.
Remember when Trump had Jorge Ramos. Remember when Trump had him removed by a security guard from that press conference?
I loved it.
Oh, that was great. I love that. That was so awesome.
Oh, my God. The day that happened, I was so happy laughing. I went to go pick up my kids in Kendall, and my mom goes, "Did you see how Trump?" Because people were still iffy about Trump. "Did you see how Trump treated Ramos?" And I said, "I loved it." And she looked at me like I was crazy. I said, he's a jerk, Mom.
Yes.
He's so liberal. I said, he doesn't want the walls up, but if you go to his Miami home, you have to see the security and the big walls up there that he has in his mansion. No one could get close
really?
to his
Yeah,
house.
I forgot it. Yeah, Jorge Ramos. He's originally from Mexico. He's one of the few legal immigrants from Mexico. And he has a massive mansion in Miami surrounded by a big, beautiful wall, so no undocumented, unapproved people can come on his property.
Huge gate that you have to ding to get in to tell them who you are.
Yeah.
So I couldn't take the hypocrisy.
But he's against the wall at the southern border. But he has a big one around his house.
He always has been. But let me tell you something. That this administration is working with the cartels. Over here, we having cartel executions in Texas.
That's right.
Okay, and these people, if you do them wrong, they don't only come after you; they come after your family. Okay.
That's right.
And so the Texas is really, really hard now. They're getting hard. The federal government's getting hard on Abbott because he put those buoys. Did you see the buoys? The float. That's the.
Let me tell you, those Abbott buoys are beautiful. He put these buoys in the middle of the Rio Grande, and you can't swim through. And they got saw blades on them.
saw in between. You can't climb up it and you can't swim under it.
You can't go over and cut them apart or anything. Yeah, they were beautiful.
Well, there was an accident, an immigrant, so it got hurt trying to climb over it, and of course he's not doing well. Well, he's not alive.
You know, when I was in middle school, on the weekend, some kids broke into the school and they climbed a fence on a weekend. It was a Saturday or Sunday. They broke in. One of the kids fell and a bolt was sticking out of the ground and went in his head. His parents sued the school district and got won.
Wow.
So, I mean, and the kid was breaking in. The kid was breaking in. You know, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt on these.
I have 3 dogs in Miami. In Miami, I had to put no trespassing because if somebody climbed over my gate and got bit by my dog, they could sue me in Miami.
That's right. Yeah.
So I had to put do not trespass dog, alarming them that I have dogs, 3 huge dogs. But it was I thought it was sickening if I didn't have that little poster out there about warning their dog, I was going to get sued by the thief.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That doesn't make sense at all. But it's getting so bad here. And you know what? I'm glad that New York is feeling it because it's hard on Texas. It's hard on Arizona with all these immigrants. New York is feeling it. They just enlisted 22,000 children in schools, and they're having a fit. Mm-hmm. You know how much money they get once they sign on?
Well, first off, here's the thing, okay? Any of you who have had kids know this. Like, my wife and I, my daughter's grown. She's 24 years old. But the house that we moved into, we've lived in almost 20 years. We moved into this house because of the schools, and it was before my daughter started kindergarten. The school is walking distance from our house. We went there. What did we have to have? We had to have, not only did we have to have proof that we lived in the district of the school, the boundaries of the school, right?
We had a vaccination.
We had to have vaccinated, but we also had to have 2 utility bills with our address and names on them. 2 utility bills.
Right.
But these border jumpers come in here, and they don't have any of this stuff, and they can enroll their kids at any school in any district they want to in this country. The children of illegal immigrants should not be getting a free education in our public schools. I'm sorry.
And it's not only that, Brian, because you know how much their sign-on is once they get in the system in the United States? $2,200 a month. My mom and
what do you mean? Wait. Who gets $2,200 a month?
The immigrants.
The illegals? Where do they get $2,200 from?
$2,200 a month. That's gonna cripple any.
Why do they get that? Why do they get that? Why don't I get $2,200 a month?
The federal government is housing them in that big hotel.
Oh, you mean they cost $2,200 a month?
No, they're giving them $2,200 a month. My mom doesn't get that in Social Security. That's what I wrote. That my mom.
Oh my goodness.
So everybody's fighting over this and everything. But what do you do? What do you do?
Vote Trump. Vote Trump. That's what you do. And tell all these assholes that are running against him to drop out.
Oh, forget it. Texas is just Trump. You see Trump flags everywhere. I love it here. I couldn't put up a sign in Miami. My car got keyed. I got jumped because I was a Trumper. But I'm telling you, over here, everywhere you turn, you have the big trucks here. Texas is a truck state. You have those poles with the Trump flag always, and I honk the horn and go, "Hey!" Because we all do that. But it's Trump state here. They don't want DeSantis. They don't want DeSantis. Another thing I wanted to tell you, yesterday when I went to Home Depot, I met up with a Ukrainian. She was a cashier.
What?
And I asked her, yes, she's working as a cashier.
What is she? Is she a refugee? Is she a refugee?
No, she left a year ago, she said.
How'd she get here?
Okay, and so I don't know. I asked her, and I'm paying. She's a cashier at the Home Depot, and I said, well, "Let me ask you the truth. How's Ukraine doing?" She says, "Oh, everybody's having fun. The malls are open.
Yeah,
our Burger King open. The pools, we have pools, and it's always busy." And I'm like, I said, I hate to say this, but we shouldn't be giving your country money.
Exactly.
And she says, well, they're doing great with it now.
Yeah, they are. They're doing better than us. They're doing better than us.
And then I'm thinking poor Maui the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, she told me there's nothing going on there. There's no bombs. There's no nothing. That everything is staged. And Zelensky bought a villa in Spain.
Get out of town. Is that what she told you?
Nope. Mm-hmm.
She told you that Zelensky has a villa in Spain?
Yes. And then I asked
goodness.
my sister. I asked my sister, because we talk mostly every day. She's from Spain and everything. She goes, oh, yeah. We have a lot of Ukrainians here. You know,
That's amazing.
They buy up all the property. So I'm like thinking, oh, that's our money.
Exactly.
Our money. Hawaii's
Exactly.
money.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
But I just wanted to let you know that and everything. But, okay, nice talking to you.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
You guys are still in my prayers, okay?
Thank you so much.
That
I
candle's
appreciate
still
it.
going.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Oh, man. So she said Zelensky has a villa in Spain that we bought him? Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, man. Oh, now, don't forget, go to MightyMagaLion.com and buy your Mighty Maga Lion. Available exclusively through me at MightyMagaLion.com. He's got 45 on the side. Beautiful lion, cute tail, and, of course, he is adorable, and he looks just like Trump, doesn't he? Absolutely. MightyMagaLion.com. MightyMagaLion.com. And order yours right now. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Not only is this where MAGA comes to talk, this is the greatest MAGA place anywhere, all right? And I put a lot of great MAGA content up here. Each and every day I live stream. And when I live stream, I take live calls. I upload my podcast here, vlogs, and all kinds of other content. And those of you that are members, don't forget to check out that exclusive members-only content on my YouTube channel here. And before you go, like the video too, guys, if you're already subbed to the channel, because that helps a lot. All right, guys, my name is Brian Craig, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone, for watching.